Good afternoon. Today I am going to post the chapter Cell for class 6. I will also provide question answers from this chapter. To get more videos on this chapter, subscribe my channel, hit the notification bell, like and follow. Okay, now move forward for the chapter. So, the cell. Before we understand what you mean by cell, we have to know about some scientists. Number 1, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who built simple microscope from spectacle lenses. Actually, he was a Dutch scientist, and to observe unicellular one-celled organisms, whether it is plant or animal, he discovered a simple microscope with the help of spectacle lenses. Then another scientist named Robert Hooke, he was a British engineer, built compound microscope. He contributed immensely to an understanding of the structural and functional aspects of cell and its organization. Next, lots of scientists are there who made some researches to the formulation of the cell theory. Those scientists are Matthias Sladen, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. So we have to know about them before we start the chapter The Cell, because they have greater contribution, they did greater contribution in this topic cell. So without knowing them, we never start the chapter Cell. Now, what is cell theory? Okay, before we start cell, we have to know the cell theory. And what is cell theory? Cell theory means all known living things are made up of one or more cells. This is the first point. Then second, the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living things. Third point, all cells arise from pre-existing cells by cell division. These 3 points belongs to the cell theory. Okay, now what do you mean by cell? Is the building or material of any organism. Building materials means it creates that organism one by one. How do they did it? So whenever we use to make a wall surrounding our home or any construction area, if we start making a wall, so for that purpose we need few bricks and cement to make that wall. One by one layer of few bricks, then again we apply cement over it, again we put few bricks over that first layer, like this, the second layer, third layer, and ultimately we create or make a wall. Similarly, in case of plant or animal, cells are resembling the same features of those bricks. Okay, one cell, then after cell division produce 2 cells, then after the cell division of those 2 cells another 4 more cells were produced. So in this way cells produced step by step to create each and every tissue of human body, or then organ system, then the full body of a human. Similarly, in plants also, they repeatedly divides to form few structures of the plant body. For this reason, we call that the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living things. After that, we have to know the shape and size of the cell. Cells show a great variation in their shape. Few cells are spherical, few are oval, few are rectangular or cylindrical. In humans, the white blood cells present in the blood are irregular in shape, but muscle fibers are thin, but the cells are in skin are flat like tiles. The cells that conduct materials in plants are tube-like structures. So various kinds of cells are there, kinds as well as different shape and size. Cells also vary in size because the size of a cell is measured in a unit called micron. 1 micron is equals to 1 by thousandth of a millimeter. Very minute, very minute. We can't see a cell without any microscope. We have to take a microscope to see the cell structure. The average size of cells ranges from 10 to 30 microns. The smallest cells in the human body are the red blood cells present in the blood. That means that RBC. The size of a bacterial cells ranges from 0.2 to 0.5 microns in diameter. The longest cells are the nerve cells found in the neck of giraffes and can measure up to 3 meters. Nerve cells, we can read different kinds of cells. Then in that topic we will see different kinds of cells and with their different names. Okay, now according to many scientists, there are different types of definitions of a cell, such as cell is the machinery of life, a nucleated mass of protoplasm surrounded by a living membrane is known as cell. All these definitions are provided by few other scientists. So I am telling different types of definitions of the same cell. The cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of living organisms. Next, the cell is the smallest unit of life. Okay. The cell is the machinery of life suggested by Lowy and Sekiewicz. And then a nucleated mass of protoplasm surrounded by a living membrane is known as cell. Then third one, the cell is the fundamental and structural and functional unit of living organisms, proposed by D. Robertis in 1979. The cell is the smallest unit of life, proposed by D. Robertis and D. Robertis in 1981. Okay, so now we will discuss about the structure of a cell. In case of a cell is made up of number of living and non-living parts. The living parts of a cell that have a definite shape, structure and specific function are called cell organelles. Okay. Now you all get this information in your biology book, I know, but still I have to explain all these things. Cell organelles are highly organized and stable structures. The non-living parts of the cell are called cell inclusions. Okay, so the living part of the cell is called cell organelles and the non-living part of the cell is called cell inclusion. Now, for every cell, whether it is a plant cell or an animal cell, it is surrounded by a thin membrane called cell membrane. In case of plant cell, we have cell wall. Okay, and that cell wall is an additional membrane surrounding the cell membrane. That cell wall is present in plant cell and it is surrounding the cell membrane. The cell membrane encloses the living part called the protoplasm, and which consists of two well defined parts, the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Okay, so Now each and every part we have to discuss it, and I will show you a diagram also. Okay, up to this much, then I will provide you a diagram of a cell with its proper labeling, and we will discuss all the parts thoroughly. Okay, now I'm showing you all the diagram of an animal cell. See the drawing very carefully. First, you can see the first labeling is cell membrane. This thick portion is the cell membrane, which is present outside the layer of the cytoplasm. The whole circle, this thing inside the whole base of this circle, round portion, is the cytoplasm. Okay, and all the cell organelles, that means the living part of a cell, all different cell organelles are present or embedded in this cytoplasm. So first is cell membrane, which is covering the cytoplasm, and inside the cytoplasm all the cell organelles are present. Cell organelles means first we get endoplasmic reticulum. And what is this endoplasmic reticulum? Endoplasmic reticulum is supporting framework of the cell. It connects the nuclear membrane with the plasma membrane. Okay, then we get the nucleus. This portion is called the nucleus. This portion is called the nucleus, and you all can see a small dark color center. Center inside the nucleus is known as nucleolus. Okay, then this structure is called mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria. These are all membrane bound structures. Lysosome, small vacuole like structures are present inside the cytoplasm, are called lysosome. Then these pipe like structures, these are attached together, these are called centrosome with centrioles. Then small vacuole, very small vacuole, smaller than lysosome, are present inside the cytoplasm, are called ribosomes. Ribosomes help in protein synthesis. Then we got Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies, see small vacuole like structure with finger like structures also. These are called Golgi bodies. It is very important, and it play an important role in the secretion of hormones and enzymes. Okay, next, vacuole. All cells have vacuole inside them. Okay, plant cells have one or two large vacuoles, but in case of animal cells, vacuoles are smaller, and they have a fluid inside them. We called it cell sap. Present inside the vacuole, there is a fluid. We called it cell sap. This structure is called the mitochondria. I told you before. Mitochondria are the sausage-shaped rod-like spherical structures, double-walled. The outer wall is smooth and has finger-like projection. The cavity of mitochondria is also filled with a fluid. Mitochondria helps in respiration and releases energy. That is why they are known as powerhouse of the cell. Okay. And in case of vacuole, the membrane surrounding the vacuole is known as tonoplast. Okay, and what is the function of vacuoles? Now, vacuole helps in the storage of food, water, and other substances. They also help in maintaining the shape of the cell. So this is the structure of a cell, animal cell. The same thing we can find in plant cell, but only one thing is extra, that is the cell membrane. See the structure, plant cell. In case of plant cell, this is the vacuole. Vacuole is very large in shape. All the structures are same present inside the animal cell, we can see it, but extra structure is that the cell wall present in plant cell, and this cell wall provides shape and rigidity to the plant cell and protects the internal cell organelles also. Okay, same thing, same organelles are also present in plant cell. Extra cell wall is here, but in animal case, there is animal cell, sorry, there is no cell wall, only cell membrane, but this cell wall is present outside the cell membrane, another layer that is called the cell wall outside the cell membrane. I will give you all this diagram in my next video, so just understand what I am going to say here. Okay.